Good morning, folks. Mitch back with you again. Today I'm going to be working on Goldie. I'm going to put the rear end down there, the trunk and the bags, and we're going to dive into changing the air filter. I think I can get that rear down safely. Shouldn't be a problem. It should just hang there until I can take care of this part here. I ordered the Elephant air filter, and I've got my oil filter here and my oil there. I still need to get some, I believe it's 7590 that goes in the final gear compartment, whatever we want to call it. Okay, I'll just set this over here for time being because it might be a minute or two until I can get into the filter there. So hang with me. Let that thing down to start with. That should just slide right down there. All right. I believe she'll hold in there. This shouldn't be overly complicated, but I can make it that way. Get the key out. We'll need to take all this junk off here. What size you think that is? 10? Let's see, where's a 10? I don't have my glasses on. Yep, it's a 10. Well, those apparently are finger tied. I'm not sure that one's doing anything. I believe that over is something besides a 10. Apparently Howard's been in here before. I don't know if that's supposed to have a nut like that or not. There it is. Yeah, nowhere's going to be an 11, looks like. One of these may just be something he found and put on there. Alrighty. Yeah, let's take this off first. This has got a couple little grommets it goes down into. Ought to come out of there somewhat easily. Got a couple grommets, and you can see that one there has been off at one time. I guess I need to glue that back up. Get this piece here out a little easier now, hopefully. There we go. Lay this over here on the floor along with those two nuts. This wire here is my USB port, one of them. There we go. I need to check that top of that thing. I never can remember how it's fit in there. Looks like it's just a little tab like that. So it ought to slide right out of there, hopefully without breaking. There we go. Lay that in the floor also. All right, we need to get these compartments off the sides here. I'll try to get that other side first because it's supposed to be a little bit easier to do. What I've heard, read, watched, all that just snaps on there. It's supposed to have 4 screws here holding it, Phillip head. Of course, this box just got 2 missing. Got a little Kenwood radio in there. Y'all tell me, those radios inside the little compartment there, this bike come like that, or is that something that was added later? I can tell you right now, seeing this MSHA tape here, it was added later. Howard was a coal miner. This is some of the tape he's probably used to tape that up with. Well, I say it was added later. He may have just got in here and done some wiring, probably what it was. I'll stick them screws back in right there, and maybe I can find a couple more when I put this thing back together. See if we can figure out how to get this wiring apart. I don't use this radio. I guess I'll just leave it in there. I don't know if I should or not, but I will. I'm going to say that this thing came with this radio, being as it's got this pretty little mount right here. I'm sure that's probably factory. I don't think Howard made that. For you who don't know, Howard was my brother-in-law who passed away. Used to own this bike. As far as I'm concerned, he still owns it. I was just prowling around down in there to see what some of that stuff is. That one over there, from what I've heard, can be a little ornery. But one of the things that gives people problems with taking this off is you're supposed to have a knob right here for your, I think it controls your windshield up and down, or your headlight beam or something other. As you can see, this is missing that particular part. This one's got 3 of the 4 screws. We're doing better. Yeah, that was no problem there. Okay, being nosy again. We got some loose wires here. Anyone know what that's supposed to go to? Leave it in the comments. Now let's see if we can get this centerpiece off. Get inside the gas cap. You might be able to see back in here this little old plastic lever. It locks this piece into the sides. There's another one on this side, should be. It's already pushed in, so it wasn't holding anything anyway. Thank you, Howard. That should free that thing up to come off of there. Get it off without breaking any tabs anywhere. Oh, just gonna slide right off, I believe. Get it around the handlebars. Come on. There we go. Okay, there's gonna be a couple wiring connections up underneath this. Let's see what we got here. A couple plug and plays. Let's see, how do those tabs work? Push them down. It's got a little piece here that's supposed to push down, unlock it from this top part right here. A little tougher than it should be. All that wiring going to anyhow. This thing ain't got a radio up there. Or does it? We'll find out. Okay, got that one free. This one here, I'm not sure how it is connected with all this tape and everything. It looks like a speaker connector, PA system or something. There we go. There's something in there. Might be a tape player. Let's try to pop that open and see what we got in there. Be easier said than done. What is underneath that thing? It's got 3 screws. Let's go ahead and pop them out and see if we can find anything. Those screws is about finger tight. Power booster. Well, imagine that. Kenwood Honda power booster. Did not know that was under there. I'll put it back. Put it back before I lose it. Interesting. Very, very. Howard's wife bought him this motorcycle new. His wife was my wife's sister. She bought him this bike in '91 when they were dating. They took several long trips from Virginia to Mexico, California, back up around to Sturgis. They did that 1 year. Then the next year, maybe a year or two later, they took another long trip out through there somewhere. They actually went north that next year, went up into Canada. May not have actually hit Canada. They may have stayed in the States, but they went across the northern states, across to Niagara Falls, down the coastline, New York, down, I guess, 95 or whatever comes down through there. I have Howard's pictures from both of those trips. I may insert a few here. All right, the air filter is right there. I think while I have this thing all torn apart like this, of course I'm going to change that fuel filter in the petcock and do that. But what I was getting to, while I have this thing ripped apart, I'm going to clean up this wiring. And instead of having my USB ports up here on the handlebars and on the gas tank, I may incorporate them into the pouches on the side there, them little compartments. I will need to order a couple, I guess. Be a little fancier. All right, let's dig into this air filter, see what she looks like. Could be interesting. So let's pop off the top of the oil filter, or the air filter rather. And we're going to have few things to get out of the way here. This little directory here, we'll call it. Uh-oh, what was that? Fell off. Looks like there's a piece of plastic that was just laying in there. Okay, we'll put that right there on the floor. Move that back off to the side. We got a screw down here, 2 up here at the top, of course 1 down here on this side, and 3 across the front. So let me get those all popped off. I think every screw on this bike is a different size. You can see those 3. This one is longer than this one. This one here is a totally different color. Not saying that I could do any better. I may not even find those screws to put them back on. I'm gonna have to get my magnet to get that up out of there. I'm gonna have to get a light to see what am I doing. Use magnet on these down the sides. Those are down in there about 2 inches. I know you can't tell from the camera there. All right, come up out of there, buddy. What you hung up on? You're just gonna come with the top. That'll be all right. Just don't fall. All right, here we come, I think. I can smell it. Smells like my side-by-side. Screw is still intact. Well, as you can see, we have collected a few leaves in there, a bug or two. That's a good old K&N filter. Let me find a trash can here. No need throwing leaves in the floor. I need to exercise to walk over here to the trash can anyway. All right, look at her there. Looks a little better than she did when we started. With that trunk being down anyway. Okay, let's pull this thing out and see what it looks like underneath. Fairly clean, but it sure does smell like gas. This is a K&N. Looks like it says RMHA 8088. Service at 50,000 miles, sooner in dust. Use K&N cleaner, no gas or solvents. Re-oil with K&N filter oil, never use without oil. Alrighty then. I'm gonna lay that there for time being. Let's take a look at this Oliphant. Oliphant looks more like that. A little comparison between the K&N and an Oliphant. This over here, of course, is the Oliphant. This is the K&N. Get there's top side, yep. So one is has a profile like that, Oliphant. K&N is just straight flat. I wonder if the Oliphant is supposed to be oiled. I'm gonna have to research that. Be right back with you. Okay, so after a little bit of research, this type of oil filter, air filter, this type of air filter does not have to be pre-oiled. So we just need to layer in there. And I also noticed while I was researching that, a lot of your bikes will have a temperature sensor that connects over in this area. As you can see, this particular bike does not have that. So if you have a similar generation bike as this, I believe your temperature sensor is going to be located on the back side of the cover right in this area. All right, go ahead and get this air filter stuck down in here. Of course, you can tell how it's oriented to go on there. Sits in there just like that. Should set flat. The cover should hold it down securely, so not too bad concerned about that. Let's clean that top up a little before we do that. Little degreaser to the rescue. Clean that up, make it look brand new almost. These bikes are supposed to have a wiring harness that sits in that groove right there. I don't remember seeing one when I took this off though, nor when I took the top part off. It might have been a item Howard deleted. All right, I think we got that. Put us a few screws back in. I believe that pretty brass colored one went right there in the center. Go ahead and get one or two up here to the front. This longest one, I think he had it back here at the back. All the rest of them appear to be the same size. I'm surprised all 7 of these screws were here. Let's see if I can get these in the holes without dropping them. I tell you what, let me get a magnetized screwdriver. Careful. Okay, that one hit. Get to the other side. I'll probably drop it from that side. All right, got that one in also. Okay, that has the air filter complete. Air filter change. Take a look at the coolant while we're in here. See what this looks like. Looks like it is in the middle of the two slots there. You can see you got a hole here and a hole here. It is about that line right there. Clean it off and check it again. Yep, it is right in the middle of that. So we should be good on that. Be fine if I can get that lid back on. There we go. We'll take a look at this lid over here just for the fun of it. Oh yeah, pretty ingrained. Doesn't appear to be corroded. Must not have been using tap water or bar leak. Looks like it does have a worm gear clamp on it down there. Okay, I'm just going to leave that top off until I can get my new USB ports and get the wiring done on that. Easier just to leave the top off and leave it off and get to that fuel filter and petcock also. Alright, I guess that'll do it for now. I'll try to include putting that back together maybe on another video. Appreciate y'all watching. Catch you on the next one.